Good morning. It's another beautiful day down here in the Caribbean, and you listen to your man K Speaks. As always, I'm on the road driving to work or somewhere when I do these videos, and I think I'm gonna start calling these the Car Chronicles. Like I said that in another video. I think I'm gonna start calling them the Car Chronicles. So anyway, I kind of wanted to finish up where I left off in that last video about relationship return on investments. And you have a lot of women out there who actually most women, the majority of women, when they make a decision based on a relationship, or they go into a relationship, they base the relationship on how much energy and effort they're going to put in versus their return on the investment of that energy. So it's no different than a true business. A true business is always going to try to put the least amount of effort or least amount of resources into a venture and hope for optimum return. And women are no different. Men, we're the only ones that seem like we just don't get that, because you know what it is? When men really love, we love. Women, it's not just love for them. It's not just love, it's love and it's stability. And I'm going to do another video about that, love versus stability, but we'll get to that on the next video. But for women, it's all about stability. And I actually, believe it or not, I'm glad I took a few days to actually do the second installment of this video, because I actually talked to a woman that I work with, believe it or not. And she said something very interesting to me. She says, the first time I got married for love. And, she's still with the husband that she's married to, of course. He's not there, they're not divorced. He's actually a decent guy. But she said, if I ever marry again, it's not going to be for love. It'll be, for stability. And he doesn't necessarily have to move to my house. He can keep his house and I'll keep mine. And I was like, whoa. But that's the mentality a lot of them have these days. And it's really awkward. It's really weird. I guess at a certain age, when it comes to both men and women, you get to a point where, you like your space and you don't want to share your space with anybody, but still, that's just kind of odd, it's just really odd. And it just doesn't make sense. It's just kind of backwards, but whatever. So, but yeah, it was good to hear from a lady, or from a woman, I should say. It's good to hear from a woman, because a lot of times they won't be honest about that. I know in my, to be transparent, in my previous experience, my ex-old lady told me that I got married for love, but this time I need to. It's not just about love this time. It's about what can you bring to the table, and what can we bring, that kind of thing. And I was like, wow, little did I know. I wish the me now could talk to the me back then. I would have avoided a whole lot of stuff. But it's kind of good that I went through all of that, because now I'm here talking to you, and hopefully you can take heed to the advice I'm giving you on these videos and stay away from those kind of vindictive, narcissistic, gold digging. I mean, it's a plethora of women that I'm trying to keep you away from. And hopefully you can find a good one, because I'm not, you got these guys out here with MGTOW and all that stuff, or MGTOW, whatever way you want to pronounce it. I'm not completely like that. I do believe in marriage with the right person, of course, and I do believe that it's a good thing. I don't agree with all this, having babies out of wedlock type deal, because statistics show that a lot of women who have people period that have kids out of wedlock, and they're living in single mother homes. The kids are usually criminals. They add to the cycle. The girls, they add to the cycle of spawning more single kids out of wedlock, and it's just a mess that goes along with that. So I do believe in marriage. I don't believe in abortion, and so a lot of these MGTOWers, they're into that. Kill the baby. I'm like, nah, that's an innocent life. That's just my stance on it. You don't have to listen to me, but that's just my viewpoint on it, And this is the United States of America, and it's a good thing that we can voice that, at least for the present time. We still can kind of voice our opinions and have a different opinion, and be okay with that. So anyhow, but they look at stuff from a business perspective, and you as a man have to know that a woman is all about stability, and the business part of the relationship is what they look for from the get-go. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of them don't want to be, if you got a kid already or you got kids already, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them will not want you if you have that kind of baggage. And I'm going to say it like that because I don't know any other way to put it, really. It's a little early in the morning and my head is not really completely there, but so the only way I can say is baggage. A lot of them, they want, and now the flip side is that they will have, a lot of them will have, because there's a lot of kids being born out of wedlock to these single mothers these days, man. Women, I do agree with the MGTOWers. I think that women have the final say-so on whether a baby is born or whether a baby comes in. And I think that women have the ultimate decision-making when it comes to a baby being put into this world, because they're the gatekeepers to their bodies. They keep the gates, It's up to them whether they open their legs to a man or not. And that alone makes them ultimately responsible for having kids out of wedlock, because you don't have to open your legs. You don't have to open your legs. I don't care how much lying he does. You don't have to do it. So women are responsible ultimately for these kids being born out of wedlock and being put into the world. But since a lot of them have them, you're going to run into a lot of them, and it might be tempting to have a relationship with them. So I talk about them a lot because a lot of them, it's such an epidemic of this going on. And a lot of the ones that have kids are the ones that are the biggest schemers. And when it comes to this whole return on investment in the relationship. So a lot of them are big schemers, man. And they'll, they want to know, like, okay, well, do you have any kids? And you say no. Oh, your points just went up. Why? Because they don't want to share no money. They don't want to share the money with anybody else. I think I spoke about that on the last one. And I might be recapping on some of the stuff that I spoke on the last thing. But, it's okay. It's repetition. Hopefully it gets in your head. And hopefully you make a good decision not to be with one of these grimy chicks that might just want to take you for cash. But they don't want to share the cash with anyone else. And that's what it all boils down to. That's the first thing. They don't want to share the money, share the pot with anyone else. Now, the flip side of that is that they will want you to take them with all their baggage and then say, oh, well, it's your choice whether you deal with me or not. You're absolutely right. That's why I'm telling you guys, stay away from them. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. Just in case you didn't hear me the first time. Stay away from them, man. There's plenty of girls out there who have no kids. Plenty of them that have no kids. But even those that don't have kids are looking at this thing from a business standpoint. That's why you will see the cutest, hottest chicks with the men with the biggest wallets. It doesn't matter how he looks. He could be frumpy, dumpy, and look like an egg, shaped like an egg. But he's got a pocket that's fat. They're going to want to be with him. That's what it's all about for them. So even the single ones that have no kids, they're about the highest, return on their investment too. Because a lot of them are keeping their bodies nice. They're keeping their options open. They're trying to do the best that they can do while they're still young and their value is still high. And they realize that they can get more than what the average Sally can. The average chick out there can. So a lot of them will, make sure their body's looking nice. They're educated, and you'll hear that a lot these days. I'm an educated woman. Like, that makes them a better person. Education doesn't make anybody better. It might make them smarter in some senses, and even then, sometimes it doesn't make them smarter. It just makes them. It just shows that you're disciplined enough to get a degree. That's all that is to that. And there's nothing wrong with education, people. I'm not downing that, but they act like that adds so much value to them as a person when it really doesn't, honestly. But for women, that's something big, especially black women. They say that a lot. I'm an educated woman. blah, blah, blah. You know, and after they say that, I'm listening like, blah, blah. It all sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher to me. Wonk, wonk, wonk. So, you know, to them, that's something that they're bringing to the table, so to speak, you know. And so they want to know what you have coming to the table, because they want the optimum return on their investment. The optimum return on their investment. And that's all they look at. They're not looking at anything else, folks. You got to know that. You got to know that as a man. So, you know, she might be cute. She might have the nicest smile and, you know, charming and all this and the other. But you got to realize that she's in it for stability and the optimum return on her investment. You know, and that's what it's all about for them. Like I said, once again, men, when they do marry, they marry a lot of times for love. Rich ones don't. The rich ones don't. But a lot of times rich guys, they have, you know, women throwing, you know, at their feet, and they can be ugly as I don't know what. I mean, think about it. Look at Donald Trump. Not to throw him under the bus, but look at Donald Trump. Not the most handsome dude in the world, but he's got lots of money, and so a lot of his wives have been hot blonde bombshells. So, you know, there you go. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to do another one. There's some other things I want to talk about, but, you know, once again, remember, they are out for the optimum return on their investment. And I'm out.